I feel really bad for the Happy Ghast because I always look at it and I'm like, this just reminds me of a cat that somebody has put on a vegan diet.
Oh God.
It's not being raised correctly to correspond with its naive owner's moral crusade. This thing naturally feasts on blood and tears, and you're feeding it a snow cone? Almiar Ironworks, the Blaze factory, whatever you want to call it, has been kind of a thorn in my side for a while. I did not have an idea for the interior when I started on this, and I have not had an idea for the interior since. I built a bucket pouring out some molten metal, because that's all that I could figure out was supposed to go in a building like this, and I guess these are like railroad ties or something. That's as far as I've gotten. Everything else was purely mechanical in nature. And admittedly, the mechanical part does work, sort of. It's a little janky, and that's, part of the fact that I'm trying to tie it into an aesthetic that I haven't completely ironed out. But it does work. But I have basically, since I started making this, have been staring at this, racking my head, trying to figure out how to make it look like an actual ironworks. And the problem I keep running into is that the interior of actual metal foundries is incomprehensible. I have tried looking at thousands of reference pictures. I don't know what's going on. It's a series of tubes and girders and just sort of things in places. There's stairs that go nowhere. I don't understand it, but I've come to a very freeing realization. I'm the smartest person I know, and if I don't understand it, who the hell else is gonna understand it? So I can just make whatever the hell I want, and as long as it looks like a series of tubes and girders and stairs going nowhere, nobody will be able to say otherwise. They'll just look at that and go, ah, yes, that looks exactly like what shows up when I Google for iron foundry. None of these people have been in an iron foundry. DarkLlama is a truck driver. He doesn't know what an iron foundry looks like. Dewey doesn't know what Dewey looks like. I'm fine. Do you know what the inside of an iron foundry looks like?
No.
Good. I believe I've made my point. So basically, we're just going to build a series of pipes and metal objects, and I might have to move the bucket, but I'm not as concerned about that. The bucket can move. I like the bucket. I want to keep the bucket. The bucket's in the way. I might also work on the color palette. The thing I really hammered out was that the color palette I was using with the tuff and the basalt was all wrong. It needs to be darker. I am keeping the basalt. I don't know why I called out the basalt. The basalt is fine, but this might have to change as well. Something that kind of screwed me over is that this is kind of off center. So I need to adapt that too. But everything else, I think I have a plan for. So I'm gonna get rid of these guys. I'm gonna mute my mob sounds, and I'm gonna click the start flashback recording button, which I did prematurely because I'm not actually planning to do it right now. All right, let's see where we're at now. Don't look at that. I haven't replaced that yet. I'm a lot happier with this. I think this is a lot better than frankly the previous one was just a placeholder, so better than something that is literally just there to hold the pieces together. Which is a low bar, but I think I've exceeded it to my satisfaction. What does this do? I don't know. It spins. What is this? It's a pipe full of hot metal, probably. And why is the furnace open? 'Cause this, of course, is coolant to cool the furnace down, and this is heatant to heat the furnace up. None of this makes any goddamn sense, and I think that works for it. I've had to remove the bucket. The bucket is going back in. This is not the end of the bucket, but it was in the way of some of these doodads, and I need to figure out again anything past here. Pretty much, I think I need to tweak some more. So the bucket is actually currently just in this box. This is the whole bucket. It'll be back probably, but I think this is a good start, and I'm a lot happier with everything but this. And I've included a couple of other things actually. Let me stand here long enough for some blazes to spawn. Here we go. Okay. Whenever there are blazes in there, these seem to be all the rage. These trapdoor fans. I've thrown one of these up there, and whenever the farm is actually running, whenever the actuator is moving, the fan is spinning, and then shortly after they're all emptied, it slowly powers down, which amuses me greatly. And up here, these are lodestone compasses that aren't connected to anything, so they just sort of spin. Up here, there's sort of a gantry. Or a catwalk, but I think if it's in a factory legally, it has to be a gantry. This doesn't go anywhere, and this is probably temporary. But there's another gantry up here, which leads. You can't do the sprint jump over here. You're gonna hit your head. This leads over to here, which is the foreman's office in broad air quotes. I still need to probably cure this guy. I've got my batch number 1 first cast rod here. All of my remaining materials, some excess blaze rods were in here, but I've absconded with them for nefarious purposes, and I think this is a lot better. I'm a lot happier with this. I had to fudge some things on the sides of the furnace in places, but and what is this? I don't know. Why does the catwalk go so close to the door that probably shouldn't be open on the furnace in the first place? Nobody can say. And, I think that's true of most industrial metal casting facilities. I got to repair my pickaxe. There's one guy in there. That's great. Whatever. And I've got a little secret over here. All right, so this just looks like there's molten metal on the floor. But the thing about redstone is you can do that and shift it from a dot to a cross. And this one actually does something, because that actually alters the way that redstone transmits signal through the block. So this is my maintenance shaft, and I can go down here and I can see all the places that the blazes get stuck. Not that time, but sometimes they will get stuck there or here. I've engineered this so that they don't usually get stuck here. But there was a sort of a Newton's cradle happening here, where one would keep getting stuck at the top of this ramp, and then the next one would come through and bump him, and he'd go down, but then that one would get stuck. It was an ongoing problem, but I think it's solved now. I just added a little extra headroom there.
Can you fly into this?
I wouldn't.
I'm just chilling here.
No, I'm actually want to die. Okay.
Oh my god. How much shit did you just lose?
Oh,
Okay, I have just updated the server to 121.7, and yeah. I don't dislike the fog. I think it starts a little too close and doesn't get dense enough near the edges, is sort of my opinion. Everything is sort of hazy, not foggy. But fortunately, I believe I can fix that with a resource pack. Anyway, okay, new things in Foundation in this update. If you hold Sprint, which is controlled by default at C for me because it's closer, it'll take a whole level of experience out of your experience. Some of the things from 121.6 and 7 are just not in Foundation. I feel like mixed opinions on crafting saddles. I feel like if you were going to do it, you should have done it by now, and you didn't, so you sort of made that bed, and now it's too late to backpedal because it feels like hand-holding. So got rid of that, got rid of the recipe for the gas harnesses, and got rid of the something else. One of the music discs I don't like, so I buried it deep underground. Let's see here. We need to update our protractor because it has a new interface. So let's see. So I can do. Oop, that was creepy. Did you see that? Weird. Position. Yeah. Okay. So first of all, there's a button to rotate your camera so you can actually see it. It's on the side there. I can dynamically scale it. And I believe that's close to the right size. There we go. That's a rat head on a stick. And the rest of the changes we'll get to later, because they're fairly minor, and there's no reason for me to show them all, because I don't need to do them all. So we're going to worry about that at a later date. Now, of course, the elephant in the room with 121.6 and 121.7, we skipped 121.6 because there was a memory leak issue that would have killed the server, but there's the balloon animal. There's the giant pale inflatable minion that you ride around and go on very slow adventures with your friends. And we're gonna go find one of those shortly. I'm gonna try and get an expedition team together and go and get some the right way. In vanilla, you can craft them. That's out in Foundation because that's incredibly stupid. And there are other ways to get them in Foundation renewably. But I want to actually go find one, like on the ground where they're supposed to be. You know, because I feel like that's how you. I think there are a lot of things in this game that should be limited to finding them, were it not for the consideration that eventually you would run out. So we're gonna try and find one the right way. You know, I'm in my steampunk aeronaut suit. You know what's really steampunk? Smog. Does that work? So we're gonna turn the smog back on this thing. There we go. Now we're making smog. Hurry up and join me at the Birdplate Exploratory Committee.
Actually,
Whatever. Wait. League. Birdplate Expeditionary League.
I gotta change my hat. I don't have the right hat on for this.
Oh. Yeah, if anyone would like pilot goggles, let me know. Let me get Llama some pilot goggles. Toss me your helmet.
I don't know.
What? Okay, then you don't get them. Let's go.
Oh.
We'll use Sun's portal because it's closer and Sun's here.
Yep. That's like you wouldn't use it if I wasn't.
Yeah, probably not. Okay, Aang I think has caught up. Yep, there he is.
Hi, Aang.
Wait.
Ow.
Oh, Soul Sand Valley.
Big basalt area.
Here we go.
Wait, I don't know where I am.
Aha!
I'm in trouble. I do not like your sound.
I know.
No, it's crunchy.
God, I hate
Like
that.
a corn husk that's been dried in the sun. The other thing we need to find while we're out here, and it's a good thing we passed the fortress, is we need to find harnesses. Breach!
Ooh. Why did you not do
Hi.
it actually right? And so now you're gonna steal all
Yep,
the
thanks.
chests because you were a bitch? Ooh.
Nope.
Wither things. Wither woes.
Yeah. Grab
Okay,
some of those,
those-
actually. That's a good find.
those are
Oh lord, okay, I
Fuck you.
see why you eat
Ooh.
these. I forgot that
Aha!
What?
Oh shit!
Nice.
I found the new music disc, the one that
shit,
doesn't suck.
Shit.
Are you okay?
There's a guy.
There's
There's a guy.
Get away from my gay rat!
There's a guy. Oh shit.
There's another guy.
Hi.
I just
How
scared
fuck
of
do I
wither
not
skeletons.
any boredom?
Ah!
The pig! Run for the pig!
What the hell is happening?
Run for the pig!
Aang, why are you dressed like Casey? I was
Damn it,
momentarily very confused.
There wasn't anything in there, but damn it.
There's not.
It is Casey.
Aha!
Redstone machines and shit.
Oh no! Alright. Mine's going in this
Yappa
bucket.
wins.
Oh
What?
boy,
That's so rude.
I made an achievement. And there's my thumbnail. Now, I do have something for you. And I don't want to hear another goddamn thing about the goggles. Oh! Of course! It's a giant floating face! No! Zardoz, come back! Hi.
Hi.
Okay. So, we have a lead going from Zardoz to Appa. We have a lead going from Appa to this guy. And a lead going from this guy back to Zardoz. We did it!
Nice.
We've got a triangle! Alright. No, this is just something dumb we've done. Look out, we're gonna bonk into this thing.
Oh no. Oh, what a tragedy.
Can this even fit down this street? I don't think it can.
No.
No, almost certainly not. Nope.
No. No.
We've gas-proofed our street. Llama, where the hell am I?
I don't know.
I just
Where
got.
did you go?
I quantum leap. What the hell?
Hi, how are you? What the fuck?
What?
Okay, bye.
What? Why am I quantum leaping? Why am I Scott Bakula, DarkLlama? I don't want to be Scott Bakula. Something we did shortly before this as well is we made I use this term loosely, heavy quotation marks around this, a bartering farm, which is literally, it's just a bunch of pigs in a box on the nether roof with a hopper that spits gold at them.
There we go. Nice.
Easy.
And he's already angry.
Oh yeah, well I would
How'd
imagine
you
he's
manage to
furious.
hit me?
He is in prison in hell. He's not going to be a happy camper. So, you know, on the downside, they are in prison. On the upside, there is just like a mail slot in the door that just money comes through. It's not very sophisticated, but I've been working on a design for a gold farm that I want to put up near it so we can semi-automate it. And we're gonna do that next, maybe? We're gonna do that at some point in this episode. So something else new in this version that I completely forgot about is I have added the ability to dye firework rockets. Because frankly, I feel like if you've got a firework star in these, do I have any spares lying around? Of course I don't. But if you've got a firework star, you can see that these have the color of the firework in it. I feel like the rocket should be that color, right? So you know which one's which. But mostly I just, you know, I need some way to differentiate it so I don't accidentally use the ones with the firework stars in it and blow myself up like I almost did 5 times during the fair. Okay, I want to try this because I think this might technically work. I'm going to take a purple dye. I'm going to take some firework rockets. Yeah, and that dyes them all purple at once. Okay. Yeah, I kind of think maybe I should start on the gold farm.
Yeah.
Yeah, so that gold farm is in pretty high demand right now. So I think I'm shifting gears. That's going to be priority number 1 because getting obsidian any other way is not pleasant. And also, I've been carrying around 4 shulker boxes full of magma blocks for 3 weeks, and I don't need that. So I'm just gonna do that and then be done with it, and then it can have been done. Of course, it's nowhere near here. I have to go all the way back to spawn and then like hang a left. It's fine. And because the gold farm is going to need item filters and certain parts of piglin bartering don't stack, that means that... How do I access this? I can probably get one from up here. Means that you guys down there, who are currently irrelevant to the operation of this mechanism, get a little reprieve. And the rest of you can stay and rot. That's what you get for trying to escape. That may have been a different set of allays. I think I had to replace them a couple of times. Whatever. Sins of the Father. I don't know. Don't mind if I do. Now, the slightly annoying thing is that the gold farm is... Oh, I wonder who's been out here recently. The gold farm, it has to be in a nether wastes, and our spawn portal is in a soul sand valley, so we got to go kind of out of our way. Bird plate is over there somewhere. Okay, so this is our current bartering farm. It doesn't really need to be set up like this. It just was easier to do it this way when we were putting the pigs in, but they can all go in one tube. Now, I'm not going to worry about the bartering farm portion of this quite yet. That's sort of the last addition to the actual, making gold part. But I will say, full disclosure, I've not made a gold farm before. I've never really needed one, and I still, quite frankly, don't. This is charity work. But we have an Enderman farm, and it's basically the same principle, so I'm just going to kind of copy that. Now, that is the one we have is a 30 by 30, and we're sort of faced with the awkward situation that, so these two chunks are about 32 by 32, sort of faced with the awkward situation that this is the only area of nether wastes here. It's pretty much just that 48 by 48 area, and then you're into Caldera or you're into Soul Sand Valley. So the space to work in is pretty much limited to here. So, I mean, I can make it work, but I would have liked a little more space. Now, something to keep in mind, and something that would make this a little different from your conventional gold farm, is that in vanilla, the roof of the nether is at Y128, and the build limit for the nether is at 256. But in foundation, as you can see, we are at 256 right here. The nether extends all the way up here. And the build limit for the nether is actually only at 320. So we have half the space we would normally have to work with this, which means that getting out of the spawning range of the lower half of the nether is a little less feasible. Now, fortunately, we're on this weird little peninsula right here that we can just bomb out and nothing's going to be able to spawn around here. But, areas around here, for example, could be an issue as well. So, we can't really get out of spawning range of that and have space for a spawning platform above us that takes advantage of the full height. So we're just going to have to live with that. All right, and that's the guts of it up and running. There's a lot more that needs to be done. That's nothing, and the items are just, they're getting bartered. They're just going down there, and I'd like them to go up here. But it's getting there. There's 7 floors to it, which is probably overkill. But I realized as I was doing it that I have 7 floors worth of magma, and I didn't want to walk away with any more shulker boxes full of magma, so it seemed like the thing to do. I'm down here now. We'll just do this like this then. The turtle eggs are all, I think, safe. I feel like a baby pigman could get at those, but they haven't yet, so I don't know. But they need to have space above them so the turtle, pigmen can think they can trample them. I don't know. And all of the items they don't even go in a hopper when the pigmen drop them. The allays pick them up and they sort them. And so this guy is doing something you can do in Foundation, where he's got a bundle with all of the possible items in it, and he'll just pick all of them up and deposit them right down here. And that is returning pretty good results. This guy is doing books, water bottles. I think these might just go in the trash. I gotta be honest. Fire resistance potions. These all might go in the trash. And this guy is getting harnesses. That's another Foundation exclusive. You can't craft them, so that's how I've made them renewable. And he hasn't turned up anything because they're quite rare, but he'll get there eventually. Now, I have a plan for the exterior of this, but I'm probably not going to do it right away because I'm tired and I want to go to bed. But the guts of it work, and that's the important part. There's if you bring your own gold from home, you can drop it in this barrel and it'll spit out to the pigs, and you can also just throw nuggets in there and it will go in the crucible, turn automatically into ingots, go into here, and spit at the pigs. So next steps are I need to pipe the items back up somehow. I mean, that's an item elevator. That's not hard, but they do tend to jam, which I don't care for. But you know, one thing at a time, and do the exterior. So doing pretty good there. All right, Zardoz, you're coming with me. What the hell? Alright, you know what? This part looks fine as long as you don't turn around or look up or anything other than just stand right here. I've got storage. It's being sorted. There's technically a door that just kind of goes nowhere. And you also can't get in from the outside unless you fly in. But that, you know, it's fine. You know what? I'm done with it. I'm going to take a break. I think this has gone on quite long enough. The last thing I'm going to do is I'm just going to put some vines on here and just let those slowly grow down so that you can at least climb up from the outside. And because we're in the nether, they're red, so maybe they won't look bad. They probably will. But it's fine. This thing is working. It's making... I'm taking all this. It's making stuff to my satisfaction. The item elevators are still a little janky, but whatever. That's too many. Yeah, you know, don't mind if I do. I have enough quartz. This is fine. Yeah, no. I'm gonna leave these here in case I decide to come back to it. I probably will, but I don't want to do it right now. And gotta figure out how to leave because my portal is not on the roof of the nether, and I really don't want to walk back there because walking back there means doing this. Nope, that's not right. I don't know why it's still like that. That would not be hard to fix. Yeah, I mean, this is how I get back to my portal. Nope. This way. Okay. Yeah, this sucks. I got my stupid dredgers I gotta deal with, too. And this is where I got all that blackstone. Yeah. I don't think I'm ever gonna need to do that again, because I still have... you know, that much, and then just, you know, some junk. It also got me like 50,000 netherrack. So, just gonna real quick. Pretty sure this'll work. Yep. Ah, finally. Give me my stupid. Thank you. Now, of course, in addition to that, I'm also getting a lot of warped wart blocks, because that's the other main component of the Dead Sea biome, which is partially a bad thing, because I'm never going to need all this warped wart block. But it's also partially a good thing, because the recipe people always forget about is you can take these warp blocks and a little bit of glowstone, and you can actually make these goddamn shroom lights. And I'm going to take these goddamn shroom lights, once I finish crafting all 6 dozen of them, and I'm going to make $1 million! Alright, and this means that we've got some new stock down at the Road Warrior Herbal Remedies. I'm going to put one here, and yeah, I'll put one this way. Why not? So we've got shroom lights. We'll say 1 shekel for 8. That seems reasonable. These are in high demand. And we'll do this other one, very excited about. Leaf litter. 1 shekel for, say, 32, I think is reasonable. And that's going to sell like hotcakes. Just you wait. That's going to sell better than hotcakes, because I bet nobody knows what the hell a hotcake is. I looked it up recently. It's just a pancake. Why not just call it a pancake? Nobody orders a hot cake, right? Like, come on. How does that sell? I would wager if you call it a hot cake, it's not going to sell at all, because nobody knows what that is. Anyway. All right, I got one more thing I want to do before I call it here. For a little while now, Aang has been working on the bird plate sewer system, which I've been intermittently helping decorate, and I dug a couple of blocks, but mostly I just don't want to be down here. It's gross. Oh, there's so many great things in this box. I forgot all about these incredible botanical treasures. All right, we get some of these. Right? Check this out. Huge mess. How'd that get there? And maybe some of these guys. But to cut a long story short, I told him when he started on this that I would like one end of this sewer to be right down here by my house, because I've been looking at this area right here, and I've kind of been wanting to put a big, like, Super Mario pipe in here that's just, you know, some sort of storm runoff or something just dumping into the lake here. And he said he wanted to put in a sewer, so that sort of has motivated me to do that. So we're going to put that in. Okay, we're going to move all this, and then we're going to put that in right here. I don't know why this is here either. This is a mess. I should have cleaned this up before I started. I'm going to clean this up, and then we're going to talk about the pipe. Now, this is kind of an awkward shape to make on account of it being round, and I don't want the pipe to be too big. But I think we just want to do this. I'm going to take it out to, like, here, I think is good. I might have to shape this a little bit, but that's fine. So, due to the nature of just sort of the way that this is, kind of have to do a not round shape for the pipe body itself. I'm not sure I'm entirely thrilled with what I came up with, but I think it looks fine. It looked better in my head, but in my head I didn't have to stick to a 16 by 16 grid. So, you know, what can you do? This tree has been here a while, but I'm afraid it's time for you to go, sir. I will put something else here later. Yeah, so I think I'm actually, I've pushed this back twice now, I realize, but I think this is going to be where the flanged part is. I'm sure that's not the correct word, but you know that part of the pipe. This is going to be where that starts, and then I believe I just have to continue this out one more. Would just like to say, having looked it up, I did use the word flanged correctly. So to get the actual slight rounding on it, what we're going to do, and we're going to mix some of these in too, we're just going to do that. And fortunately I have this fishing line here I can hang off of to do this. And then just to make it feel a little heavier, we're going to put some rivets in there. This does not feel like the portion of the pipe where you would put a rivet, but who knows. And then we're just going to strategically deoxidize some of these just to mix up the colors a little bit. We're going to put in some iron bars, and this of course is now going to trap us in here. And if I'm correct, we should now be level with that water. Yes, okay. And then we just start putting it in here, and that's why we put another button there. And I think that's it. That's a pipe. Of course I need to, oh god. Let me out. This is the hard part, is that it's not technically an exit anymore. But there we go. And that's now dumping Lord knows what into the Birdplate Bay. Such as saplings and apples. So we're going to try just bringing this into here and then putting in the same sort of floodgate bracket that is a little lower down in the corridor. Okay, so other than some minor nitpicks I have with it, I think I'm happy with that. Main nitpick being that I did not have an oxidized copper bulb, so I'm just going to stick a normal one there and let it oxidize and come back later. This part might be a little janky still, but I think I can live with it. It looks fine from the outside, so that's the important part. But I think I've made a half-decent sewer grate, and I don't have to worry about this area anymore, and I can go back to my stinking city that I haven't worked on since, like, March. Okay. Well, that's it for this episode. From my perspective, I still have stuff to do on the gold farm, but that's going to have happened earlier in the video, and I can't get back in here, so I sure hope that I didn't leave anything in there. Alrighty. Well, great. That wasn't a pun, but it is a great. So, good. You can go now.
Aang was trying to figure out my name, kept saying it, and I kept saying G names, and I just said, actually my name is G-Spot.
Oh. Oh my. Oh my.
It's like, I'll stop investigating now.
If I had any nerve whatsoever, that would be Sun's nickname now, but I'm not gonna do that.
What's up,
Guys, don't worry, I'm totally okay.
Oh my god.